All right, boys and girls, we have reached the top of Shotgun Mountain, the mecca of boomsticks, the Benelli M4. We're gonna have some fun today, boys and girls. Let's do it. Got my boomstick, y'all. Yes, sir. Woo, baby. Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888, and we got a very special shotgun to show you here. This is a Benelli M4. Now, this is the Cerakoted model, not an H2O. I know some of you with a really good eye might have noticed, oh, that's an H2O. The H2Os actually have like the factory, like Nibic thing and all. This one is a Cerakoted model, so not quite as rare as an H2O. But the cool thing about this one, it is an LE model, so we have a fully collapsible stock as well as the full 8-shot tube, just as they intended it. So this is not a neutered M4, which I know I've probably expressed some of my feelings about the M4 in the past and some of the other Benelli offerings, but I don't necessarily like the fact that, this configuration is so difficult to get for civilians, because it's a, an awesome shotgun. And arguably probably one of the best shotguns on the planet right now in terms of an autoloader. These things are fantastic. Stock opens up all the way, and you got a few different positions. That middle position can be a little bit difficult to find, all right? But what a lot of people do, I think wrong, is you have to push that button in really hard. All right, when you push that button in hard, you'll kind of feel a discernible little spot where it'll try to get over right there. And that gets it in the middle position. But you got a collapsible stock. And the reason you'd want the stock in the shortest configuration would be if you're running body armor, and it helps get rid of some of that thickness. So if you put it up against armor, see, if you were to point it like this, that just seems kind of strange, right? Like, who would need it that short? Well, when the stock is collapsed, it's nice because it transports easier. So it makes moving it around easier. But if you're wearing armor, if you're wearing a thick bit of body armor, it also helps offset that. So then when you look down, what happens? If you imagine this thick body armor, I can see down the sights. So that's one reason for that. All right, there we go. Found our middle spot. But you got a pistol grip. This gun does have a rail section on top. There are a lot of aftermarket components for the M4 that you can get, railed fore ends and different light mounts and things like that. I kind of like running her with just the ghost ring sights, kind of el natural, if you will. I'm running, so this sling is actually an M60 sling. It's a surplus M60 machine gun sling. And I like those on shotguns because it's nice and padded, and it just makes controlling the gun a lot more, easy. All right. And I really do like these shotguns. I'm a big fan of the M2, and Chad has an M3 and he loves it. The M3, in case you're not familiar, that's their convertible shotgun that can go from pump and semi and back and forth between those two modes. You slide the fore end up and you lock it in, and it's really neat. The M4 is unique, though, that it is a gas-operated gun. So you have a pair of ports, basically a pair of pistons, and it picks up gas right past the chamber. So it's a unique gun in that it will run a wide variety of different loads. It'll run light loads, heavy loads, and it generally doesn't care. So one thing about this, too, is that these Benellis do use a free carrier type of system. So because of the way that this gun is designed, you can also ghost load it, not to be confused with the political ghost gun ploy that all of these people talk about. We're not going to get into that in this gun video here, but not a ghost gun. We're talking about ghost loading, and that allows you to get one extra shot on the carrier. Now, the ammo we shot there in the intro was some Federal Flight Control, and you can see that stuff patterns really nicely. You do have screw-in chokes on the Benelli shotguns. This one appears to be, I think it ships with just standard like modified choke. All right, so not a full choke, but not a cylinder bore. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle. I want to say they ship with modified chokes, but it does come with a choke wrench, and you can change out the chokes however you want. If you wanted to run cylinder bore, okay, you can get a cylinder bore choke for them if you wanted to run that route. I am going to be running slugs through this thing. I don't have a problem shooting that through this particular choke. All right, I'm going to load the shotgun up a little bit. We're going to move on and try to test out a bit of different ammunition through this thing, just to show you, what it can do. We've got some 12 pellet buckshot here. All right, and I was comparing the overall length earlier. I should be able to get 8 shots in this tube, but if you look, that crimp is a little bit gnarly on a few of these loads of ammunition. That's a 2 3/4, and that's a 2 3/4, but I couldn't get that last round to go in all the way. I don't know if maybe it's just the shape of the crimp or the variety of crimp, but what I will do is I do have some Remington buckshot. Let's grab these and compare the length, and I'll show you how we load this thing, okay? All right, and that's a high brass load, and if we compare the overall length, it's a bit shorter, so I think that we can probably fit all 8 in here. All right, so they load through this tube in the bottom, so it is a tubular fed shotgun, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. We should be able to get 9 in this thing, guys. Okay, should be. Okay, and that's 6, 7. See, I should be able to get 7 in there, but I think the crimp on these is just a little bit long. So I've got 6 in the tube, and then I can ghost load 1 on the carrier and push it down, so that makes 7. And then 1 in the pipe makes 8. But if the shell length is just right, you can put 9 shells in it, which is kind of cool. All right, shoot the gun. So a tubular fed shotgun is not necessarily a super easy thing to load under stress or in a hurry, but shotguns do provide a lot of firepower and a lot of energy downrange. You know, a lot of gunfights tend to be over in, you know, not a lot of rounds, right? So what are our statistics tell us about handgun fights, right? What, less than 10 rounds and less than 7 yards? I mean, this may not be a practical type of firearm to use in every situation, but buddy, if you're in control of the situation and you can control what you're using, then why not have a freaking shotgun? And if you're gonna have a shotgun, why not have the king of shotguns? All right. Yeehaw! All right, Mr. Soda, bye-bye. And you pupper down there. Okay, so one thing that I've mentioned in a couple of videos before about shotguns, and you might be familiar with some of the videos we've done where we've shot certain shotguns really, really fast, like the Fiocchi Origin 12. You might recall that video where we're just dumping like 30 round drums out of a shotgun, and you're thinking, wow, that thing is super, super fast. The M4 is known as a fast cycling shotgun. However, they are very reliable and fast cycling shotguns, but I will say that they're not as fast as you might think in terms of the speed that they cycle, okay? And that may not be a point of interest to anybody, or it may not matter to many people. I've generally found that the FN self-loading police probably cycles a little bit quicker. We've also got a Versamax that we've done some videos on that one of the guys in the crew here has custodianship of right now, but the Versamax is an extremely fast cycling shotgun, and I would say probably faster cycling than the M4. You know, it just depends, I guess, what you're looking to do. I mean, I can outrun this shotgun for you on camera right now without even thinking about it. I can shoot the first shot through this and hammer follow it on the second shot. I'll show you. That's not being macho, it's just saying that, you know, every gun, no matter what it is, will have its inherent limitations. Yep, can't get that last round in there. That crimp is a little long on these. Let me just see, for our sake, just so we know, if I can outrun this shotgun. Okay. Now the ammunition that we're running here, this is Remington 2 3/4 inch 9 pellet double-aught buckshot, moving at 1325. So a full combat load out of the shotgun. I'm going to see if I can get the shotgun to hammer follow. I'm going to shoot it for speed, and I'm going to see if I can outrun the action. Hammer follow. The hammer's down. It cycled, but the hammer followed. So it's a fast shotgun, but it does have its limitations. You know, you can outrun it. All right, I'm gonna slow down my speed, and I'm gonna see if I can shoot this at pretty much full cyclic rate that the gun can keep up with. All right? It's about as fast as one's gonna run. Because I feel like if I was gonna try to shoot it any faster than that, I feel like it would hammer follow. So that's just one minor consideration. I'm not saying that you're gonna run in guns a-blazing in terms of the speed or anything like that, but just know that it is a fast shotgun, but it can be outran if you're really fast on the trigger. Okay? All right, we're gonna move on and try some of this other ammunition. We got some Noble Sport. This is actually Italian ammunition. 1,290 feet per second, 12 pellet buckshot. And again, I think these have a little bit longer crimp. That's okay. Go ahead and try them out. 3, 4. Now, when you buy an M4 that has the neutered configuration, you've seen those little swells that are up there that look like kind of like little crimps or whatever. That blocks off the magazine where it can't hold the correct amount of shots. Okay, yeah, so let's see. Load up a few more here, and my ear pro went off. That's okay. All right, we'll drop one on the carrier just for good measure. Just push it down, and then the bolt overcomes the carrier with the round on it. All right, got her topped off. Have a little fun here. This thing patterns really nicely. Woo! Woo! That ammo right there has got packs a wallet, boys and girls. That's that 12 pellet buck. 1,290 feet per second. That's a chiropractor load, is what we like to call that. All right, I'm gonna set up some slugs in this thing, and we got some evil watermelons and sodas down there that we're gonna take out. Let's see. We got buckshot. Oh, why, look at this. Now, I can't fit as many of these in here, and I hope these aren't, oh yeah. These are 3-inch Bernicki Black Magics. They have a bear on the box. They weigh 1 3/8 ounce. They're moving at a walloping 1,500 feet per second at the muzzle. Woo, this right here is a no-no train. This is the train to Payne Town right here. The train to Nopeville. And we have them, and we're gonna shoot them, and we're gonna have fun with them. All right, here we go. These rounds are so hard to get right now. I can't believe I'm shooting these, but you know, we're just having fun. It's all in the name of science. And bears. There's a bear on the box. Look at that. And he's not happy. Look how mad he is. There's a bear on the box. So that should tell you something about what we're doing here. All right, Yogi. Here we go. The picnic basket with some slugs, baby. You ready? Woo! All right, well, those slugs are pretty freaking amazing. So we're gonna move on to a couple of different types of buckshot ammo. I'm gonna run one more type of buckshot ammo. I've got some of this Fiocchi here that comes in the 25 round boxes. That's pretty nice stuff there. That's a 9 pellet, 2 3/4 inch at 1,325 feet per second. You know, and this one might actually be a shorter shell. So this stuff here might be able to get us a full tube. That looks like a slightly shorter shell. One thing of note that I want to mention, one of the major differences between the M4 and the M1, 2, and 3 is that this one being gas operated instead of like inertia driven, you can hang whatever you want on this gun in terms of accessories. So if you want to use a rail system and flashlights and add bunches of extra weight, which I don't know why you'd want to do that, but I mean, having a flashlight is certainly a nice thing to add. So if you want to add a flashlight or something, or even a heavy rail system, you can do so. Large optics, whatever you want, it's no problem. On the inertia-driven shotguns, the heavier the gun gets, the harder it is for it to operate, and you have to use a progressively hotter and hotter cartridge to get the gun to reliably cycle when the gun's weight starts to get a little bit heavier, especially with over-encumbered with accessories and things. So that's one of the primary differences. This gun was developed in the late 90s, around 98. So this gun's been in service around 23 years. So it's got a proven track record, and I've always loved the M4. And I remember in 2005 bumming around on some of the fobs and going into the chow halls and stuff, especially on the Marine Corps bases over in Iraq, and seeing the Marines walking around with these shotguns. Yeah, this is the chosen shotgun of the Marine Corps. They use these M4s quite a bit, and I recall seeing them and just thinking they were so wild looking, which, you know, in 05, it was a relatively new shotgun. You know, it kind of makes me feel a little old, but all right, let's load this thing up. All right, carrier's free. Let's see if we can get our full 8 shots in the tube. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're supposed to get 7 in there plus 2. So see, this crimp actually allows us to get the full 7 in the tube. Our ghost load, just so we know I'm not lying here. All right, so that's 8, and then 1 in the chamber makes 9. So yes, you can get 9 shots in it, but it is going to be slightly ammo specific on the crimp as to whether or not you can get that last shell in the tube itself. All right, here's our Fiocchi Buckshot. This is bulk buckshot. We don't have much steel left, guys. I think everything's scared. It went home for the day. I think if I was down there, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of a shotgun either. All right, see if we can pattern on this plate down here at 35 yards. Not bad. Okay. On that note, there's not much range left. I think we've destroyed the range, and that's quite all right. I think it's quite fitting for this particular shotgun. Let's get our stock collapsed. Oh yeah, well, you cannot go wrong with an M4. These are fantastic shotguns, and I hold them in very high regard. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know this is a shotgun not many people get to hang out with and shoot, so we thought we'd do a video on it. I've had this one a minute, and I just haven't gotten around to making a video on it, but I'm glad I did. You just can't deny the payload of a shotgun. Shotguns are kind of hard to use. They do kick hard. The manual of arms can be a little difficult for some. They do require a little bit more of a gun handler to use one. You know, you have to be a little bit more experienced and take the time to learn how to use these things properly, especially in some form of a tactical environment, right? A combat situation, if you wish, or whatever, home defense situation even, if you wish. They do require a little bit more care and handling and operation, but once you can get them down, you can't deny the payload that a shotgun can deliver. And I've always been a big fan of auto-loading shotguns, and this is by far one of my favorites. Guys, have a great day. We really appreciate you watching today. A big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, those of you who purchase man cans. Also, over on Ballistic Ink, we've got a ton of great shirts for sale, tons of neat designs. If you want to support the channel directly, those are the ways that you can do so. And we really appreciate those of you who see value in our channel and wish to support us in those ways. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Many more videos on the way. And we're going to have the M4 in some other videos. Maybe I'll drop an optic on this thing. And I think we have a how far will it kill video to revisit. I have promised that to many of you. We weren't able to connect at long range with slugs out of our shotgun before, but we'll see if we can revisit that. And I don't know if I'm going to use the M4, but it's definitely not off the table in terms of an option. So have a great day. Many more on the way. We'll see you soon.